Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode. I feel like I start all my episodes the same. Hello, hello. But I wanted to talk to you today about becoming who you desire to be this year. So we are about halfway through the month of January, which is like insane. And I want you to think about the past two episodes where I talked kind of about like new year, new choices, making new choices to become the person that you desire to be, and stop trying to change everything at once. So I feel like, especially for like women and moms, society kind of teaches us that we're supposed to like do all the things, stay on top of everything, take care of everybody else, put ourselves on the back burner. We're supposed to be the mom that like cooks all the meals and cleans the house and takes care of the kids and does the laundry and BS. Like, why is that even a thing? Um I lived the first several years of my marriage in this way. And I was even working 24 hours a week at the hospital. I was a critical care tech, and I was doing it all. My husband got to come home and eat a hot meal and go to bed and then go back to work the next day. Like that was basically it. I was working 24 hours a week. I was taking care of the house. I was making sure all the bills were paid. I was doing the laundry. I was taking care of the kids, getting them to all of their activities. Well, they were younger at this time too, so not too many of them were in activities other than dance. But hello, like we're partners with our partner, right? And so we should not be the one running it all. And not that my husband ever asked me to. I think we just like fell into it because this is what society teaches. It's a societal norm. It was a religious norm for us. We both grew up LDS. We've since stepped away, and it's just taught that like the woman is submissive and that the man has needs and that we are the caretakers and they are the providers and that we should like keep these two distinct rules. And while I am grateful for some of the time that I got at home with my kids when I finally did quit my job, I still ran a business. I still worked from home. Like I've had VIP kid, like I've done a few other jobs and stuff, but I want you to really look at your life right now, and I want you to think about what has not been feeling good. I think a lot of times our brains, I would say, like, what is feeling good? And it might take you a little bit longer to figure that out. So let's start with what's not feeling good because our brains are wired for survival. And so they're going to show us a lot more. I say they're like we have two brains, like your brain is going to show you more of the negative easier. Like there's going to be less resistance to finding the negative. That's just how your brain works. And so I want you to really think about what is not feeling good in your life right now. Where might you be feeling super overwhelmed, trying to keep your head above water, like frustrated, stressed out? What parts of your life feel that way right now? And then I want you to ask yourself, like, why do they feel that way? Why does this part of my life feel that way? So for me, it was like, I was just trying to stay on top of too many things. My husband never asked me to. We just fell into it. And I kept telling myself, like, I enjoyed taking care of other people, right? Like, we're supposed to enjoy stepping into that role and being the caretaker. And I didn't think that I was allowed for it to not feel good. I just thought that I needed to, like, suck it up and do it because it was my job. And it's not. I'm just going to tell you that right now. It is not. And so when you're thinking about the parts of your life that don't feel good, why don't they feel good? Is it because you have too much on your plate? Or because you feel like you have no help? For me, I felt like I had no help, but I didn't know how to ask for help either. So I hadn't asked my husband for help until one day I kind of snapped. So I probably did it in not the nicest manner, but I was like, look, we can't keep going on like this. You can either step up and help me or I'm out. Like that was kind of basically how it all came across. And he stepped up. Like I will say that he stepped up and he was like, I had no idea you were feeling this way. And so I think a lot of times it's like this feeling of discomfort that we're sitting with of like, oh my gosh, like how's our husband going to respond? How's our partner going to respond if we speak up? And for me, I have a lot of trauma in my childhood as I'm now learning in therapy. but I was recognizing these behaviors and this pattern that I was recreating. And I was like, ooh, like I'm really curious about that. And so this was like my breathwork journey kind of opened me up to discovering what my needs were. And then now therapy is like, by the way, therapy and breathwork like go hand in hand. They are so great together, and you don't have to have a problem to go to therapy. Let's just change that narrative right now. But as I am learning, when I was a kid, I wasn't used to getting my needs met. And so whenever I ask for something that I need help with, that I need, I don't have any expectation of anybody. And so I kind of had adopted this habit of like, well, I'll just do it myself because nobody's going to help me. And I also had experiences where I would express a need or say something I wanted, and I got slammed with like, money doesn't grow on trees. Where do you think we're going to come up with that? Like, whatever it was growing up as a kid, right? And so that kind of taught me the learned behaviors that I carried into adulthood. And so I was really afraid to like ask for the help that I needed because I didn't know how my husband would respond. Well, he's not the person that was freaking out on me as a child, right? But there is like this unhealed child part of me that still has that same fear. And so this could be the same for you too. Like if you had some of these experiences in your own childhood or maybe in your marriage or whatever it is where you've asked for something and not been responded to in the kindest way, it kind of makes that part of you like hurt and shut down. And so now I'm starting to understand like all these different parts within me and how to heal them. How to heal them. I'm no longer that 9-year-old girl. I am 35-year-old me. Oh geez, I'm 36. Anyways, so you have to think about something that my therapist had told me that I thought was just like really cool is that a lot of these parts are still showing up as the damaged version. And we get to be the ones that's like, actually, no, I've got it from here. Thank you so much. And so, as you're shifting into who you desire to be this year, this is where breath work really comes in because breath work is going to help you tap into these parts of you who are still showing up as a wounded selves so that you can start to connect with them, start to heal them, and then show up as the version of you that you desire to be. And so if you're ready to step into that version of you, remember the Breathwork Collective doors are open once again, and we will be doing a quarterly group life coaching session as well as 2 breathwork workshops every single month. And is what these breathwork workshops are built around is helping you fully embody that woman that you desire to be, how you desire to show up as a mom, how you desire to show up as a partner, how you desire to show up as a friend, a daughter, and just really start to recognize these parts of you that are like trying to keep you safe. For those of you that have more complex trauma, I would absolutely say jump into therapy that coincides with this. And then it's just going to expand everything so much more. Like breath work helps you bypass the logical mind and tap into that truest, deepest, highest version of you that you desire to be and let go of the shit, let go of the old baggage and the old stories that you've been telling yourself that you can't, the fear and the doubt, the shitting all over yourself, the fear of judgment from others. Like we were raised a certain way, and when we start to break out of the norm and we start to be the cycle breaker of maybe generational abuse and trauma, then that like safety part of us, right? The part of us that kept us safe. Like for me, it's like this manager part that's like, oh no, we can't do that. Like that's not safe. Like you should be doing it this way. This is how you've like survived ever since you were a kid. And now it's like, well, guess what? Like I'm an adult. I'm not 9 anymore. You know, I'm not 8, I'm not 7. Like I get to heal. And I get to show up as me, and I fully trust myself. It's taken me a long time to come back to trusting myself in certain situations and to know that I've got me. And so if you are ready to become who you desire to be, the untriggerable mom, the non-reactive woman, showing up as your best self, come and join the Breathwork Collective. It is incredible. There's a group of amazing powerhouse women in there. We're going to learn how to set boundaries. We're going to learn how to create a life that feels good. We're going to learn how to show up as the mom that you want to be so that you truly create a life you love with kids in tow. And the really cool thing is, like, once you start to release a lot of the trauma from your body through the breath work, it doesn't come back. And you might like shift and have other things that kind of like bubble up during sessions. But once we release and you are able to like heal some of those parts of you, and I don't want to say like heal as in like curing disease or anything like that, but like dropping a lot of the old stories and beliefs that you held on to, you're going to feel an energetic shift within yourself where your mind and your body connect. Because I know that a lot of times logically we have this knowing, right? Of like, oh, if she can do it, so can I. But then we start to do it and we find ourselves back in these old patterns and not doing it. And we're like, why the hell am I here again? It's because you haven't released it from your body. You cannot mindset your way out of everything. You have to do the somatic work to reconnect your mind and body, or to unkink the hose, as I call it. Like, your brain and your body are connected. And our brain is like the logical thinker. It's designed to keep us safe. It's designed for survival. And it's going to look at all the big scary things that are coming our way. Our body stores old information, stories, beliefs, like energetic traumas that may have happened. It stores those energetically within yourself. But as we start to breathe through some of this and release it, then we unkink that hose between the two so that our brain and our body are, like, get on the same page in life, right? And that allows everything to flow out without being stopped at a certain point. So if you find yourself like perpetuating patterns in your life, recreating the same thing, maybe let's just say it's like financial, and you're like, oh my gosh, like I thought we were doing better, and then here we are, found ourselves like back in the hole, or back with $100 in the bank account, or like whatever that is, then this is where the breath work comes in. The breath work helps you release some of that, tap into the highest version of you so that you start to break these patterns and reconnect so that you create lasting change in your life. If this is something that you're interested in, all the links are below. I am doing a 1-month free trial of the Breathwork Collective, and then it's just $16 a month after that. If you want an annual subscription, it's $160 for the entire freaking year. Hallelujah. But let's heal yourself. Let's show up for you and become the woman that you desire to be this year, because it's not worth recreating the same patterns and hitting 2025 looking back and being like, wow, like I'm still where I was at the beginning of last year. It is time to take back your power. It is time to shift your life and show up as the woman that you desire to be. And I will talk to you next time.